This is code.org, and it is Asphalt art project time. Boo, boo, boo. I'm actually really excited about this. We get to, well, start from scratch making our totally own custom thing. That thing for me, for this tutorial, is going to be a flag, particularly the US flag. With a few minor tweaks, this project could work for any size board. What I'm using, though, in the example right now is a 12 by 12. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in here. Import painter+.java. Done. Painter plus, import, and there we go. All right, so that we have. If you're using pattern painter.java and or background painter.java in your project, import these classes from your backpack. And I'm actually going to stick with good old classic Painter Plus, I'm thinking. Yes. However, if you are going to utilize those classes, make sure you import them as well. So, to get started, let's see what we got. Write your new subclass for your Asphalt art project. Great. And that's right where I want to start. Anyways, so my new subclass, I'm going to click New File, and mine is called, let's see, we have Background Painter, we have Pattern Painter, Flag Painter. Ta-da! Super creative name, I know. Alright, now we have some of this standard stuff here, and honestly guys, if you don't remember all the details of this, ta-da! Right? Use your resources, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this thing, and so this would specify everything within the package, and asterisk is everything, but they tend to like us to specify painter. So, and then you notice that I copied this, I'm just gonna paste it, and I need to make sure to add that curly brace, and pada. Alright, so obviously this isn't called Painter Plus. This name must exactly match the file name. The class must be the file name. Exactly. Flag Painter, and they ask that we extend Painter Plus, which is cool because, keep in mind, Painter Plus can already do everything that the Painter class could do. So now our Flag Painter will be able to do everything the Painter class can do and everything Painter Plus. Now we need a constructor, right? The thing used to actually instantiate our class and, well, do cool things with it. And so if that's a lot of fancy words, we could just head over to our Painter Plus again. Use your resources, guys. And notice that the one they provided us even explains constructor. So if you're missing Painter Plus, you missed some earlier lessons and you need to go grab it from one of them. All right, so this is a constructor, which is just public, and then the class name, and bam, bam, bam. And then notice again that they use super, and we're going to do the same. What super does is let this know, hey, this is its own class, but I also want the computer to look above this. And the computer says, what? What the heck is super? What's above it? Smack. Oh, this extends. This is built on Painter Plus. Oh, so I should go grab everything in Painter Plus too. Lets the computer know I want to have a flag painter that can do whatever's in this class, and you need to go grab this other stuff. All right. That all being said, what I want to start with is we're going to start with the top square of the flag, right? Familiar with the US flag, you know that there is a blue square with the stars in it. Real quick, let's peek at the requirements because the rubric is our guiding tool here. And here we are. Now, this obviously is the planning document. I also will have a tutorial going through how I went about filling this out, but that's not this one. This one's focused on writing the code. So, taking a look at the rubric though, existing classes. So we want extensive evidence, right? We want to prove that we understand all of this. So let's see. Use one of the existing classes and its methods to create one or more component of the Asphalt art design, all right? And adds a new method to one of the existing classes and uses it to create more components of their Asphalt art design. Okay, so we need to use an existing class within our new one. So that's Flag Painter for me. And we're going to have to add a method to the existing class. The existing class that I'm making use of is Painter Plus. So I'll keep that in mind. But really right now, this day one asked me to focus on my subclass. So develop a new subclass that extends Painter Plus, check, to provide more than one additional behavior that the other classes do not. Use the new subclass and methods to create one or more components of their Asphalt design. Okay, so I need to create a class, extend flag painter, create methods to make a design, part of our design, which is great. That's what we're going to do. So what am I going to start with here? This top square. Now, it's kind of up to me, right? But I'm thinking I'll go out, maybe 7 seems like a decent amount, not quite way half. All right, so public, let me think about public. Oh, yeah, I'm going to start with public paint square. Paint. Okay, so paint square, and since it's painting, it is going to need a color, right? And now all this is going to do is I want it to go out 7. So right away, I'm just going to start throwing code in here, right? We know we're going to start smack here. So I'm just going to say paint, color, 1 square, move, paint, oops, move, paint, color, move. And I'm writing code. Let's start testing this. It's always a good idea to start testing out your code from the very beginning. It makes finding errors fast and easier to solve because you're not having to look through 100 lines for where an error came from. So I'm headed back over to my neighborhood and I want to instantiate my flag painter. So flag painter is going to be, and I'll just do lowercase flag, painter equals new, or we've been using my flag painter. How about that? Either would work. My flag painter equals new flag painter. All right, instantiated. We do need to make sure to give our painter, well, paint. And there's obviously not buckets provided. And so thankfully, as we've seen in previous lessons, we have access to the methods within the painter class. And so why is that useful? Well, let me magic over. We've seen this a few times in various lessons and in presentations, right? This is what they provide us. Here's our painter class. And we know there's something that we can use here to provide our painter, well, paint. It is, oh, where is it? Ah, right there, set paint. So we can give our painter a certain amount. We just need to put a number, an integer in here, for how much paint we would like our painter to have. All right, so that's what we're going to use for this first part. And so I'm just going to go ahead and set up my painter, my flag painter dot set paint. And honestly, guys, I don't want to have to stress about this, so I'm just going to put something, I don't know, 900. All right, that should be certainly enough paint. We're not painting the world here. Cool. All right, that's all set. And I only had one method at this point, and that's what I'm going to test. And I'll do blue for my color, and that's not going to work at all because I need to tell it what method. Paint square. All right, let's give this a shot. And so what should happen when I hit run is it says, oh, I need to make a object. I need to instantiate a class. My class is flag painter. My flag painter dot set paint 900. So I give it this much paint. And then I say, hey, computer, my flag painter run paint square. And it says, what on earth is paint square? Oh, I guess I got to look at flag painter. Well, what's flag painter? Oh, or what's my flag painter? Oh, flag painter. Bloop. Jumps to this file and says, is there a paint square? Yep. What's color? Oh, color is blue. Okay, and then I got to run this code. Paint blue, move, paint blue, move, paint blue, move, paint blue, move. And once it's done, it will pop back over here. There's nothing else to run. Let's see what happens. And I broke it. Let's see. I forgot something. And this is why it's great to debug early and often. Public, void. This isn't going to return anything. So only the constructor doesn't have void or a return type. We just need void here. Try it again. Ooh, I'm going to speed our friend up. Okay, so that's looking good. Obviously, this isn't enough. So I have 3, right? I'm actually just going to copy paste. This is definitely going to be a refactoring opportunity, guys, because anytime you're copying and pasting, there's probably a cleaner way. But for now, I'll be okay with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And copy, paste, Control V, 6, 7. Let's take a look. And I think that's too far. I'm going to stick with 6 then. Perfect. I am liking that. Now, obviously, does paint square really make sense for this code? Right now, I'm only doing one line. Okay, so I'm feeling like maybe we should change this up. Instead of calling this paint square, maybe do paint line, right? And then I will do another method, public void paint square, and it will also need color, string color. And now from within this method, right, I will actually call paint line. The reason I'm going to do this is because otherwise I would have to say, all right, painter, because we want to paint the whole border of our square right now. I'd have to say, okay, painter, turn right, blah, blah, blah. And then what am I going to have to do? Well, I'm going to have to move forward and paint this many times. That would be ridiculous to keep doing that much code. And then what would I have to do? Well, that's only one side. So now I have to do this 2 more times. Copy. I want to just show you to prove my point here. Look how much code that is. That is wild. And let's change this paint square. Let me flip this back over to show you what I mean. And I'm going to get rid of that for now. So here's our new paint square. Here's our new paint square. Let's see. Yeah, it works. This is crazy. Don't do this to your teacher. If your teacher is me, they'll die. They'll have a heart attack. They'll cry themselves to sleep. So, let's avoid all that, and we are instead going to call this paint line, and we're going to just do this chunk of code once, right? And I'm going to delete all 4 of these other times. And now I'm going to make a new method called paint square. Whoops, public void. It will need the color as well as a parameter. And what will this do? Right now it's going to say paint line. So that will be one line. And then what? Well, and I might even call this short line, right? Because it's not a full, so paint short line maybe, or paint square side. It depends on how descriptive you want to make this. I could even, since it's inside paint square, paint side. I'm going to call it paint square side though. I like that. All right. So now I paint one side of the square. I'm going to go ahead and copy or write this how many times? Well, the square has 4 sides. And now I need to pass color each time. I'm just going to Control C. So now what this is doing, instead I do paint square and I say, hey, computer, I need to paint this whole side. And it says, what the heck is this? Paint square side. Schmack. Oh, it's here. Oh, I need to use the color that was here. What is that color? It's the color from here. What was that color? Bloop. Blue. Okay? So now I know I need to use blue, blue, blue. And I run through this and paint the side and turn right. We could even have turn right up here, which might be preferable, but I'm going to leave it as is. Yeah, the reason I say it's preferable possibly is because turning could go underneath the painting of each side outside of it, although that would be redundant code. We're going to leave it for now. All right, cool. So now we got the outside of this. However, I need, well, the inside. And keep in mind, I'm going to do little dots to represent the stars. So first, I want to get into here, right? First, let's just get our painter into the box. I might actually just do that right here, just to check as I go. I'm going to move forward, right? Turn right. Move. Turn left. Let's see if I'm facing the correct way after all that. Cool. All right, now we would be able to start painting. So let's go ahead and back into Flag Painter. I might need to move that logic in later on, but for now, it's good to go. What I'm going to want to do now is paint a dotted line. So let's do public void paint And I'm actually going to start off with a star at the front. So I'll let them set the color of the inside of the square. I don't know, maybe they want it red. Maybe it's a unique type of flag, I guess. But I do want all the stars to be white regardless. So paint white dotted line. This is kind of long, but it's descriptive. And then string color. All right, here we go. Paint white dotted line. And so the first thing I'm going to want to do is paint white. Then I'll go ahead and use their color, but first we're going to need to move, and then. So now that will get us 2. I'm going to just Control C, copy, paste once. That will get us 4, and then I need to do one more, paint white. All right, let's give this a shot. So right now we paint 4 square sides, and then I do all of this. Let's go ahead and move this. I'll leave that for now. So, and I'm going to set the color to blue for the inside. Hey, that is actually looking good. I want to move this logic inside, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a look at this, move, turn right, move, turn left. I'll actually just do a cut here, and I'm going to go and say, let's see, let's think of a method. Well, yeah, I'm going to actually put that here for now. So, because when we paint the square, we're always going to color inside of it. So, and I'll get rid of the my paint flag painter, right? That is not needed. We're inside the flag painter class itself. We have direct access to the methods. Okay, move, turn right, move, turn left. Cool. And then what do we want to do? We're going to say paint square side. Nope. And I'll use the color they initially passed, so it will have to be the same as the border. And I can get rid of this now because it should all execute through this one method. Great. All right, now we obviously need to go down a line and paint another line. So let's think about this. I'll have to turn right, move, turn right, and I should be facing this way. All right, now here's the problem. If I do another, well here, let me show you. I'm pretty sure paint. Yeah, notice how this looks kind of strange, right? The stars would all blend into single stripes. So we're going to actually want to go every other, right? We don't want to do it in this way. We would want to start with blue on the next line. What that will mean is let's create another method. And guys, I'm actually just going to copy this whole entire thing. Copy. And that's because this next method will be somewhat similar. Right click, paste. Except instead of paint white dotted line, I'm going to call it color dotted. Because that's the color we start with. And whatever color is passed is the color we start with. So now, the only real difference here is notice that we start with white. Well, now I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to start with color, and then down here, I need to add one more move and paint color. All right, so I just reversed it. White, color, white, color, white, color, white, color, white, color. Cool. All right, so that should be what we actually want here. So let me go ahead and do yeah. And now what? Well, now we're going to want to go down a line. I'm going to just separate this out so I can tell what's going on here. No, that's fine. Okay. So now, since we're on this side, keep in mind, we can't just go right again. This time we're going to have to turn left, move, and turn left. Sweet. So that looks good. And now that we're in this spot, well, now we would want to paint the white dotted line first, right? Because we want to start with white. And then what? Well, then we're going to need to drop down a row. So what should we do? Okay. And you're going to see a similarity here, I hope. Turn right, move, Oh look, this is identical to this. Yeah, so let's go ahead and utilize that. This will be similar to the background painter where we had a method to change rows. So we want to know which way we're facing. I'm going to go way down here and say public void next row, blup, blup. And all I'm going to do with this is I want to know if I am facing to the east. And just to show you what I'll be using, right? Here's our handy dandy painter class again. If facing north, east, south, west. And what this allows me to do is I know if I'm facing east, right? If I'm facing this way, then I need to turn right to go to the next row. If I am facing west this way, then I need to turn left to go to the next row. So for next row, we can do if is facing east. And then what code am I going to run? So if I'm facing east, right, if I'm facing this way, which direction would I need to turn? Right, move down, right. So I'm going to grab that. If I'm facing east, I'm going to need to do this. Turn right, move down, turn right. And paste it here. And let's go ahead, fix some formatting. And let's go ahead and test this out by replacing where I do that, where I turn right, move down, and turn right by next row. So far, so good. I also want to replace this. Turn left, move, turn left. I'm going to copy this now. And because I know if I am not facing east, well, the only time I'll use this is if I am facing west. So now I'm going to do an else. I could also just do an if. Nah, I'm going to do an else. So if I'm not facing east, I'm facing west. Right? Paste. Because I know if this is false, I must be facing the other way. Because I'm only going to run it at times where I'm either east or west facing. So, cool. If that is false, I'll go left, and I'll assume I'm facing west. Which means, whenever I am looking towards the left, I can do next row. And again, guys, this is a conditional statement. These are Booleans. And what I mean by that, it's a fancy way to say true, false. When I say next row, the computer says, what on earth? And it goes to hunt, smack. And what it does is if I'm asking the computer question, hey computer, is my painter facing east? And it goes, I don't know. Let me see. Zoop. So right now this would be false, right? I'm facing west. And it goes, nah, false. Once this is false, once I know this is false, I cannot run this code. It's not possible. This is false, too bad. However, I absolutely must run else. So if this is false, else has to run, and I have to turn left, move, and turn left. Now let's think of the reverse. If I was up here, if I was facing east, the computer says, zoop, schmack, yep, true. If this is true, the computer absolutely must do this. Turn right, move, turn right, and it cannot do the else. Once it's done with this chunk of code, once it's done running this, right, so maybe we turn right, go down a line, can't run the else, hits the bottom, it says, oh, I'm done. We then go way back up here to wherever it ran, plop, and it runs the next thing. Paint, color, dotted line. Oh, where's that? Smack. Oh, okay, now I gotta run this stuff. Oh, I'm done. And it keeps going through in that way. All right, now let's try it with, cool. All right, we're getting there. We need 2 more rows, and it looks like a blue row and a white row. Let's take a look at this. Boom. There we are. We have our square. Let me just do some cleanup here. All right, cool. This is good to go. This is our first part, because I'm actually going to modify Painter Plus to do the background here. Now, and one thing we really want to do before we move on, we got to commit our code, right? We did a lot of work. We don't want to lose track of it. So I'm going to commit my flag painter. So just a brief description of the class. Bam. Cool. And this should be, yep, good to go. Onward.